Hello, everyone. If anybody's there, the purpose of this stream is to just talk about a bunch of on-chain summer activities. There are lots of things happening. It's hard to keep track of. It's hard to keep track on a daily basis. We're just summarizing it on a weekly basis to see what we think is important. Today we have a new friend. Do you want to talk about yourself?
No. Yeah, hi. Graham McBain. I'm McBain on Farcaster, building Crew, which is Farcaster for Teams, and yeah, a few other things.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to share my screen. So these are the 7 topics, or 4 topics. For last 7 days, some on-chain summer launched a few projects. First one was Custom Punks, launched special themes and skins around this. We can open it up a little bit as well. Menace on the Playground by Seneca was a mint on Highlight. Floor NFTs, I haven't talked about that, or I haven't heard about that like in more than 12 months, and suddenly I click on it and realize I still have the app in my phone, Floor NFTs app. That was interesting to like have a callback to it. One of one by Gunna. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that is it. Super interesting. Based by Petra was all over Warpcast for the last couple of days. It's interesting. Bought a Blackbird. I know if Jeff was here, he would talk about that for hours. He loves this concept. And but hey, Jeff, we miss you. We'll still talk about this without you. And Pleasr now, memorializing Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. That's an interesting one as well. How you can revitalize older content. Is there anything one particularly you want to talk about it, Graham?
Well, I mean the Wu-Tang Clan. That's not just revitalizing it. Did you do this?
No, we don't No, it was not me. It was Pleasr now. So let's open that up if you want to talk about it.
No. I mean, yeah. I mean, have you gone? I actually did. I bought one of the things. Do you know? Did you see the activation around this today on Warpcast?
No, I was not able to see it. It's in my list to try. Do you want to share your screen and walk people through? If you want to, go for it.
I already did it, but I think you could go through it directly. But is there a link to it? I think it's on Aniri's Warpcast account.
Yep, let's open that up.
Let me find the link.
No, I saw Aniri's post on this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We had a big 4-hour
the album
work session.
There we go. I'll give you the link. It's thealbum.com.
Oh, I can just type it.
I put it in the chat. So this is super cool whenever it loads. Wow. It's not showing on the live stream. There we go. Okay, so the Wu-Tang album, Once Upon a Time in Shaolin, can't be released until 2103, basically. And so what they've done, I don't know how they did it, but what you can buy access to a teaser. There's a 5-minute teaser that people have heard in real life, and so I guess they own it now, and you can buy access to listen to the 5-minute teaser. And what you're also doing is buying down the time from that it'll be released. So every one NFT that you buy takes 88 seconds off the time until it gets released. And so people are trying to like cut down from 79 years to now.
Oh, wow.
By buying these NFTs. It's really cool.
That is super interesting. You're like a reverse time bomb.
Yes.
Instead of like increasing the time, you're decreasing time.
Yes.
That is super cool activation. And I'm assuming this is all on chain. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Man, the gaming mechanics people come up with. Like, did you buy? How many seconds did you take it off the timer?
I just bought one to see what it was, and it was only 88 seconds. So that was, I don't know, it was pretty cool.
Man, what would be fun is it would depend on that open rank and whatever that open rank number is, or that 20 seconds you would get out of it. That would be very interesting. So you'll basically force all the influencers to go a little bit around that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is super cool. I'll be playing around this afterwards. Those are the ones I personally like. The custom punks quite a bit. I'm planning to buy a few. I've talked to Russ in the past. I'm not sure how much you played with it, but custom punks is a way for people to. It's a low entry point punks on base, where instead of buying the original, you can buy different themes and everything. And my favorite part is when you can randomize a punk from the frame itself and then buy it directly from there. That's
cool.
Pretty much amazing unlock. I'm pretty sure he gets really good at like sale from that as well, because people don't have to go to the website. It doesn't have all the functionalities, but some functionalities are there and you can just buy it. So that's interesting. It's an old project. It's like literally, I think they were part of the last On-Chain Summer as well, or maybe they just joined a little bit after On-Chain Summer, but it's definitely a cool activation. Have you, like, do you want to talk about that a little bit? Maybe you can talk about something else afterwards.
I like the idea that you can just buy it and create it, because I think that like I don't know, sometimes having a PFP isn't necessarily about showing off how much money you have. It's more just about like showing off your personality. And so having to go find something is silly, but if you can, mint one that's custom to how you like it, that's probably a pretty cool design space that more people should spend time looking at. So I think it's cool.
Yeah. And it's only tens of dollars. It's like less than a t-shirt kind of cost. If you want to put it on a t-shirt, it's more expensive, but like the digital version is like, nothing much. You click a button and it's yours. You put it on base, and base fees are, of course, now ignorable. You don't have to even worry about it. So that's pretty cool. I want to talk about the bar, Blackbird.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Nick, have you looked at that?
I saw the summer pass is such a great idea. When people do those locally, a lot of times people will have like a local business where they do a drink passport. And so this is just a drink passport, but in a cool way and on chain. So I love it. I wish I lived in New York. I don't know that they're going to come to Sacramento next, but maybe they will. Who knows? They may go to Toronto next. You may actually get these.
So this is what I was thinking. So there was something called Winterlicious program in Toronto, where in the winter, because again in the winter restaurants don't have that much traffic, so they would create a curated list of restaurants, and they would say for $15 or $20 at like a high cap, no more, but you can buy passes for Winterlicious, and then you can go to a restaurant and pay $20 and then just have the meal there, and the meal itself could be like $30-$35 itself, generally on the menu. So you would have a list on the menu. Of course, they make money by like selling the drinks on top of it. But the point is that it creates like a more foot traffic. Like, and this is like when I saw this activation, I was like, oh my God, for this, I wish I was in New York. And New York is the only place, like I don't drink alcohol. And when this happened, I was like, you know what? I know in one place in the world where as a non-alcoholic person or non-drinker, I can still get a good amount of like cocktail or just different variety of like non-alcoholic beverages. It's in New York.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is perfect. This would be something that, and it's only, I think, like $50, $60. And you get 15 days worth of drinks, which is like unbelievable. So it's a no-brainer. I am sure, like one thing that's missing in my opinion is you still needed base and everything else to get started. Ideally, if it was a way for me to buy through credit card, and then suddenly that becomes my smart wallet and that becomes something else, that is a perfect way to do it.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's going to be, and it'll be easier for anybody to do this sort of thing. What I would love is if platforms like this made it, I mean, I'm sure they don't because it's hard to market to, but I would love it if they made a concerted effort to go after the like people in. I have a friend who knows all the great restaurants in Sacramento, and she knows all the owners. She should be able to run this there and be the like local sort of curator of these kinds of things and make money and not have to build her own custom app. I think there's so many, with the price of software coming down, I think there's so many opportunities like that. And with Web3 and composability, I think it's going to be so much cheaper to build really great experiences like this that enable more people to make money. So I love what Blackbird's doing. I think obviously the founder is super smart and been doing this kind of thing for a long time. So that helps, but it's cool.
Yeah, Blackbird is already like an established brand, right? So it's not just something they're doing as a separate, like a whole new business. It's more just like one more thing that we do, and now this became super important. I think LA would be a great place too. Sorry, go ahead.
Totally. No, I guess I thought the founder of Blackbird started a big restaurant reservation company and then sold it and then started Blackbird.
I think so too.
And okay, yeah. So then we were saying is the on-chain summer thing is just one part of what they do. Yes, totally.
Yeah.
It's probably a new thing for them though, because what they did before seems like a very intense. This is like a great entry point into their larger ecosystem.
Exactly. This is the entry point into like trying Web3 without committing to Web3. Like Starbucks went heads on Web3, which I think was too much. When Odyssey launched, I was like, I'm not sure. It's not really on chain. It's on or it's sort of on chain, but the wallets are not really on chain. It's really like custodian, blah blah blah, all those things. And unfortunately, it had the fate that it did. But the point is, like when something like Blackbird works, it gives them without doing too much commitment, because there is a start date and end date to it, all predefined. It's on-chain summer. It's 15 days. After that, they can take it back and analyze the data, and they can look at like how much foot traffic did it generate to this restaurants. Restaurants can find out, like create a cohort out of it, and then say, are these people coming back or not? Person who bought one drink, how many other drinks they bought? Did it really make money or not? Because no one goes out to have one drink. Generally, once you have one drink and if you like it, you repeat or you have something else. Although you do 15 days in like continuously and you order food and everything else. So I'm pretty sure there is more to it. I wonder what kind of analytics these guys are collecting, and if we can find a way to like get hands on it. This will be very interesting to collect and then create like strategies based on. Any other 7 topics you want to talk about? Because I actually look at ZkSync, and I think that's very, very spicy.
I didn't look at it at all, so I'm really curious to hear what you found.
So ZkSync has been a good project for last, I would say, 3 years. They've been working really, really hard, trying to create L2 based on pure ZK rollup technology. Like even you look at Arbitrum and Optimism, they are optimistic rollups. Some of them are trying to come up with ZK rollups that work end to end. They are in a good shape, but not something that works completely. So technologically, ZkSync is very, very ahead of the game. I think the only one compatible is Polygon, but unfortunately, Polygon is on a sliding downscale recently. People are leaving Polygon. People are trying Base. Base is kind of taking over as the Ethereum de facto L2 in that context than what Polygon was. But ZkSync in general, great project, great technology. I've talked to many of their builders and product people and everyone around it. Of course, with this kind of projects, open airdrops are imminent. It's going to happen regardless. So they have been talking about ZK anticipated that, hey, we're going to do an airdrop roughly a year ago. They've been talking about it. And when they launched that testnet, and I think it was for ZkSync era, what happened was they said whoever basically participate in the testnet will get rewarded in the airdrop. So a lot of farming happened, like airdrop farming happened, but at the same time, there were a lot of great builders who just went in and tried different things. They built mini apps, they like transacted, they gave feedback, they applied for bounties, like a standard good project vibe. 2 days ago, they launched an airdrop checker or claim checker. I should put the link in the show notes. But point is, when they launched it, they had some criteria that were more rewarding people who did not even try their testnet, but other community members. Like, for example, I played with Era for probably, let's say, 10 minutes, but I had participated in the Bonsai airdrop in the Lens ecosystem. And that was part of an external criteria. Because of that, I'm getting roughly $2,000 worth of ZkSync as an airdrop, which is good for me, terrible for the community. like there is a huge backlash from the community saying, why are you rewarding people who are outside of your community instead of inside of your community? And that's a perfect way to actually break it down. I haven't heard an official response from ZkSync. Uh, my favorite one was, and I actually almost fell for it. Spammers have already created a website which says, "Oh, sorry for doing that. Here is a website where you can come in and connect your wallet and reapply to be reconsidered for the airdrop, and like connect your wallet, blah, and your money's gone." And that is becoming a big problem right now. And ZK's ZK team, as far as I know, have not made a single official statement. I think it's a terrible, terrible move from their side. You're a community builder. That's what you've been doing for the last 5 years. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, this is the first I'm hearing of it, so I struggle to criticize people without knowing their motivations, right? But to me, it seems like I would airdrop to people outside of just my community. I would give my community more, for sure. So like, if you're saying that like someone who spent a bunch of time in that ecosystem made less or got less of an airdrop than you did, then that's a serious oversight. Oh yeah, well then that's really dumb, and they should. But then again, what the people complaining may be, farming, right? And they may have just decided that it's like, well, what you did was low quality effort, and you weren't really trying, you weren't really like making a meaningful contribution to the community. And so what we did was look for people that meaningfully contribute to other communities, and that's who we rewarded because we want them to be part. I think that's totally reasonable. So I don't know what their criteria was. I don't know why they did it, but I could see the other side of it. And I think as someone who's worked in community for a long time, if you're an enterprise business, your community matters in the sense that it matters that there's a chorus of people that love using your product and are willing to help others use it because it's been so useful to them. Mm-hmm. Your community is not people that are expecting to make money from you. And so I think that's maybe where some people go wrong using that word. So I don't know.
With that, like Warpcast is truly we are early stages of Warpcast, although it's 3 years down. But Warpcast has that positive community where most people here are genuinely helping each other out, making connections. I actually have a meter. I at least try to make 1 to 2 intros a week. And I'm pretty sure you would be doing more than that a week. So point is, Warpcast is a positive community. But there are other communities that I've been part of where people are there just as for they know that something's going to happen and click and get out. And they do make money. And once they make money, they become more proactive in that community. So, and maybe that's how we can think about Warpcast as well. Maybe Warpcast gave you more before you started giving more for Warpcast. Maybe it was not in terms of money, but it was something else. But I think people still expect from the company before, or the brand or the organization, before start promoting to other people.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's just a function of them designing their incentives incorrectly, right? If you create, Warpcast was very explicit in saying there's not a token, there's not going to be a token, right? Like that's not in our plans or whatever, and so they just squash any discussion of that. And I think short of doing that, then silence is an answer for a lot of people. Yep. And so what happens is, if they're not saying there's not going to be a token, you won't get rewarded for, basic farming, then everyone goes, okay, that's what it's going to be. And they just do it. And that's what they expect. And that's what your community becomes. Does that respond to what you're saying?
No, you're opening a new thread, which I personally don't believe is true. Dan, of course, is squashing every argument that is coming in terms of, are you going to launch a Warp token or Forecaster token? And he comes out, pretty much anyone and everyone, no matter how small or big player they are, he will come out and say, nope, we're not launching a token.
Yep.
But at the same time, in few years, I can see them launching a token, maybe finding a different reason to do so. Maybe it's not Warpcast, maybe it's not Forecaster, maybe something like Degen token, which is completely like an army of completely something else. Like Middle token, right? I think Middle token is by Middle Manifesto is by sub, not really a sub company of Base, but it's Jesse's heading that small project, right? Like if I remember correctly. So point is that there are ways to launch tokens without launching token as part of this. And I personally think that when Lens launch tokens, and if they launch token, I always look at like, hey, Lens and Farcaster, they're great communities. Farcaster is way better right now. But 6 months ago, Lens was way better. So it just becomes one or two features. And like token by Lens can be the flip. And in response, Warpcast can do it. Like Uniswap. Uniswap never said they're going to launch a token for like 24 months. And suddenly, after having so many vampire attacks, they're like, yeah, we need to have our own token. And that's what happened. So there's a chance of this happening. I know we personally talked about vampire attacks and everything, but that's one thing I'm thinking may happen in this case as well. Yeah. Anyways, wrong topic. Maybe separate topic for separate day, for separate discussion somehow. But yeah. Did you look
so
at...
what are the...
Yeah.
I didn't look at any of these other... And I'm not an NFT person, so I didn't look at any of these other things.
Yeah, same here. Like I didn't pay much attention to them. There are some good brands like Pleasr DAO. I think was one of the first NFT artists that made some sizable amount of money in the ETH community, like back in 2021. So Pleasr DAO is definitely some interesting stuff. I looked up Based. No, it's not Babes. It's Babes by Petra. Sorry, typo here. Babes by Petra voice. I looked her up as well, and it feels like, again, not my style of artist, like because I'm more like a builder and utilitarian kind of mindset. But oh my god, it got real traction. I'm looking at, and I think Babes was launched using Foundation, and one of the minor details that most people missed, but now if you go to Foundation page and copy the collection and drop directly into the URL and copy it into Warpcast, it will automatically load the mintable frame from there. So you don't have to do any frame building exercises or anything to do so. 2 weeks ago, it was a link out to Foundation. Now it's in-frame minted directly from Foundation inside Warpcast. So we're going to see a lot of those. These are smaller details that I am building those applications, so I have to look at it. But many people miss it, and it's going to become a norm before people realize how easy it is to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the things I've been noticing.
I love the on-chain summer's really been doing it right. I think half of the things on this list are on-chain summer. So this is just the on-chain summer show, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It is mostly on-chain summer related stuff. Another one is, I think this is what you're going to like, that I have been trying to look at. Supercast created their roadmap. I don't know if you saw that. They said this is what we're going to do in the next 3 months.
Oh, cool.
It's loading. It's still not here for some reason. But is there anything particular? First of all, did you have a chance to go through it?
No,
what they are saying is, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Oh, go through it. Right now.
If you've already read it, go ahead. I'll catch up while you're reading, while you're talking.
Yeah, no, like my biggest thing that I remember from Supercast is they are going to support some of the features that Crew is, and I would love to get your opinion on it. But in general, they're saying we want better drafts, better scheduling. We want to focus on getting more polished filters for casts so that people can like create lists based on keywords and go. So it feels like a tweet deck kind of a feeling. Then they want to have like more like DMs. Programmable DMs are awesome. We actually have some clients who want to use programmable DM in very, very crazy ways. But in general, they want to create programmable DMs where you can send message to one, all, a group of them, Still, they're not focused on, Supercast is not focused on opt-in, so it's very close to becoming, in my opinion, a spam. But I don't know which way the industry will go, so I'm gonna wait for it. Some analytics they were talking about, and some quality of life improvements they're talking about. I think the first one uh, is it first one or someone? Uh, One of them is for teams where they want to open it up to have multiple team members, like an account management side, which is very similar to what Crew does as well. And I would love to get your feedback on it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to chat about that. We're sort of over time, unfortunately, and I have.
Go.
But I love Woj. I think what he's doing is awesome, and he is great and is gonna crush it.
All right, take care, man. Bye. So, anyways, what do you think? Have you looked at like Supercast or have you tried it?
No, I haven't tried it. This is something. Is it working?
It is working. I can hear you.
Okay. No, haven't tried. Should be doing my homework, but didn't spend much time into it yet. But we'll definitely go.
Yeah, no problem. I'm actually considering it for Percs. We can get a one Percs account, and then once they launch I want to find out where exactly this feature that I saw is. So I become posting on my channel, explain for what I was reading. Where is it? Forecast today, doctor. Yeah, now mine is refreshing. I don't care. It's fine. So point is, this is a very interesting way of working, like building in public. I think this is very interesting to me. I would love to hear them how they are going to continue building. Uh, my gut feeling is that what happened to Nook is making everyone realize that they need to focus a little bit on the business side as well, instead of just the technical side and some user adoption side. They have to look at sustainability, they have to look for everything else and see if this is something they would like to continue doing. Supercast is, I think, 1% team only, and maybe he has some part timers. I could be wrong, but Woj is the sole developer there. And I think if it's a 1 or 2% team, they can survive. They can survive easily. I think Slice is also 2% team. And those teams, as a developer, can survive for long, long time because the burn rate is small. So I love this approach. Keep it lean, keep it tight with the roadmap, keep building accordingly, and then go with it. But yeah, I would love to try Supercast for us.
No, definitely. One good thing that I have to share, like I was going to join the call just to say that, like we received our first badge on Only from Christian Zeta. So I think it's Christian Reza. I don't know the best way to pronounce it, but yeah, he's part of our VIP group now on Only.
Oh, nice.
So thank you so much for watching it. And he also sent a message. He said that he's enjoying the chat so far. And he also sent like a hello, and that supercast Christian from Jump, amazing.
Oh yeah, okay, I know Christian. I was like, is
Yeah.
this the same Christian? I was about to type and find out.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you want to jump on this chat, you're more than welcome to come on the pod next time. Like, we're just chit chatting.
Yeah, and he said, like you made, that Supercast is cool, but just for scheduling and managing more than one account. In my experience, not much else. So it could be great on my end too, because people don't know I'm being running from like my channel and also Percs, which is it's not that smooth experience. I couldn't sign up Percs exactly in my profile, so I have to always put like the seed phrase to connect to Percs. So it's always a bit stressing.
Oh, that I didn't know. That's stressful. Like, it's not like just connect with Warpcast and it's done.
Yeah.
Dude, if that's the case, then they're gonna have trouble implementing direct messages as well, because direct messages are not built on Farcaster or on chain. Direct messages are a clearly Warpcast feature, and converting direct messages like building a decentralized way is extremely tough. Extremely tough. XMTP is trying it. They are having somewhat success. Push. There are so many other players that they will have to compete if they go in that direction, and it will be a little bit distracting. Because of that, Supercast may not be able to support reading and writing both all the DM features that Warpcast has built on a consistent basis. That will become a big client problem. So I wonder how Supercast will do it afterwards. I'm actually very curious on how they're gonna build it out.
No, awesome. Yeah. By the way, our friend from XNPP is pretty much invited to be joining us in one of those calls. But yeah, pretty awesome. I think it's time for me to talk a bit about like the. I think it's good to me to share about some of the things that we've been talking like offline and now online as we were talking about Supercast. Just mentioning that this is personal. Chime doesn't agree, but we found in a way that we agree. But this is something like just talking about the clients. There is a competition, huge competition right now on Forecaster, and people always say like, "Hey, we have to beat Warpcast." And I am the person that has been saying from now on that I don't believe at the moment there's anyone that's able to compete with Warpcast, and we're not even talking about like technology, all those sides. On my view, it's just that when you are talking about social medias, you get the community, you conquest, you get all the community, you get the people to be there, and to convince all of those people to leave that community to go to another social media is a really huge trouble. And one thing that I always say, like what Warpcasts have done in the past weeks, the past months, by bringing a bunch of people from Twitter, like me. I was on crypto Twitter full time. Now I'm Forecaster full time, Warpcast full time. This is something that we didn't imagine. We always thought about Twitter as the home for Web3. We knew that sometimes it would change, sometime it would change, and it finally changed. So people went to Warpcast. It's not the same yet, but it's just growing. And what I say is that people already left Twitter to Warpcast, and I really think it will be even harder now for people to leave Warpcast again to another channel. And so the projects that compete to Warpcast will not be competing to Warpcast in itself, like a text-based, really format like Warpcast. They will have to compete offering different utilities. And that's why I'm a person really bullish on solutions like Dracula, for example, which is a completely different app than Warpcast, which is video-based, competing actually to TikTok, but not competing with Warpcast. So just sharing some of these thoughts. Really like Supercast, especially Woj, met him, really awesome person. But it's good to reckon after we've seen what happened with Nuke that it's really hard to compete with Warpcast. And people will always say like, yeah, this is because Forecaster is not decentralized enough. It's hard to compete with Warpcast. But the main thing that we're not discussing sometimes, like it's really hard to compete in the socials business. Like it was really hard for any company to beat Facebook. Then Twitter appeared. We had Instagram, and then we had these only 4 huge apps that work in a space that could have like loads of socials. And I think sadly the same might happen with Web3, where we have something like Warpcast, something video based and different channels, but not only like a main one where people are competing for something like Twitter. Just sharing some of the thoughts.
No, absolutely. So I agree. I 100% agree with the analysis and 50% with the prediction. If I may jump in a little bit, like completely agree with the analysis of why Nuke failed and how hard it is to create a client. One thing to keep in mind, like how can we create a client? Like what is the path of a client to be successful? And this is, I think, we want to create a clip after. Like if the next client wants to be successful, they should focus on getting more users outside of the system to Forecaster rather than trying to steal users from Warpcast to Nook. And that is a huge opportunity because we are assuming that lots of crypto Twitter folks are on Warpcast already. I think less than 5% folks are here. Like there are 95% of crypto Twitter folks that is not on Forecaster or Lens today. Like today's example, I was about to make an introduction from Linda to another friend, Linda from Bountycaster to another friend. And one problem that I ran into is, oh, I only know Linda on Warpcast. I don't even know like how she looks like, or I don't have any other contact information. The friend that I was talking, although have been in crypto for probably longer than all of us combined, like he's been in crypto for like 2012 and very active, have not used Warpcast. And it does not seem like he will be using it in next 6 months or so. So I'm like, how do I make an introduction? And then I had to find Telegram as a common ground and make an intro. So I'm assuming that when these folks jump in crypto, like leave crypto Twitter and join something like Vodcast or Lens or something else, that's when we're gonna see the real adoption. So we can just put the hashtag "we are early" next to it, and I think we're good.
So early, yes.
Yeah, we are so early. So yeah, it's super cool. One more thing, if I may change to the next subject, like
Sure.
companies are providing that roadmap, and this is another roadmap that I really, really, really like is blog engine that somebody said I want to use more like I would like to create a post, then uh, I would like to publish it on IPFS, then embed it within my own website or paragraph or whatever, and then put it as a blog post becomes a post on the channel itself. All the comments becomes like part of the channel, and vice versa, and that each and every post becomes channel notification to all the users, and that's like a totally decentralized version of what like Substack or something else look like, based on channels. I would like to add like DMs to it because look, we're still expecting people to go to a place where they are not. Like you're expecting them to go to podcast, you're expecting them to go to paragraph in order to view it. DMs and emails bring users back to it. That's the only missing piece. But look at what Colin from Paragraph is saying. He's simply saying, I am already planning to build it. This is something we would like to do. Auto create the channel for the paragraph and go from there. So I think this is a roughly they are making a commitment. This is the direction they're gonna go, and I think it's the right direction too. Would you build a channel this way?
Absolutely. Coming from this angle of always writing, and it's the main scary part of being a creator. It's always like using a platform and then creating it and reposting it again and reposting it in another channel. When you have something like Paragraph where you just post it there and then it already becomes another kind of content for a different audience, this is already perfect. So posting something like this, like a main thing, and then it becomes it goes to the channel, it would be amazing. Especially this feeling of like, okay, I already posted everything that I wanted, and now I would have a better way to engage with the community. So this is something that I would love to see live, and would definitely be using. I'm a person that uses Paragraph at least weekly. I already met with Colin, so pretty awesome, and will definitely be one of the first companies to be using it. Hopefully.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And there was one thing that happened that got
Go ahead.
everyone super excited about On-Chain Summer. Do
It's
you want
that
to
time
say
of the
tell what it
market.
is?
Oh my god!
This
Click
is
on
like
that.
announcement of an announcement of an announcement of an announcement, right? That's the market we are in now.
Yes. Have you seen the new movies that is usually like there's a trailer of a trailer of a trailer? So yeah, that's the moment.
There's a teaser of a trailer of a movie,
Yeah,
but now
yes,
we are
sir.
basically gonna go like it, right? So it's, but yeah, what is it?
The main question is what is it? But the main thing is that Adidas is probably coming to base. So it's definitely going to base. So base posted that it's coming soon. Adidas is base. So Unchained Summer is started, as we've been talking a lot, and Adidas is now part of it. And they posted from the main account these beautiful eyes. So pretty excited. Adidas is not the first time that they're pretty close to the Web3 community. We saw that the partnership that they had with Board API Club and so on. So pretty happy to see them now using Base, which is also yeah, just thinking like they were one of the companies that choose ETH, and now they're choosing Base. Just that question if the brands will keep choosing Base instead of like the main chain.
Yeah, no, basis. I read this somewhere, and I wanna keep repeating this until it fits in everyone's head. Uh, Ethereum is the platform. Polygon is a technology, but Base is a distribution, and people choose distribution over technology any day. So
So
Base is where the distribution is, and it's going to happen. Uh, we should talk about it on LinkedIn, by the way, but I'll take a snapshot and then tell them about the work. But thank you very much for joining. Thank you so much. Rian not here, but he also joined us and was super helpful. Yeah, and other two, Shakti couldn't join us today because she's in real life event, like where she cannot, it's too loud for her to join. And at the same time, Jeff cannot join because I'm hoping he has a medical emergency, or not hoping to have a medical emergency, but I think he has a medical emergency. We'll find out. Hopefully, we'll catch up with them next week and we'll go from there. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone.